Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. The network of Associations of Registered NGOs in Ghana has been making some appeal to the Ghana COVID-19 fund management team. The network, in a recent statement to the fund managers, said the government must look out for concepts that can create jobs. Details must also be known on the minimum or upper limits to amount businesses can get. They have a tall list of proposals to fund managers, the COVID fund managers. President of the network, Kofi Lucas, joins me in the studio for a quick one on this. Mr. Lucas, thank you for coming and good afternoon. So that is one. The one that I mentioned is you want the fund managers to look at organizations that are creating or plans that have plans that create jobs. List for us the other proposals you have for the fund managers.
Okay.
List for us the rest of the proposals you have for the COVID-19 fund managers.
Actually, we are rather appealing to the president to create a window for religious bodies and development NGOs so that they should be able to also take advantage of the stimulus package that government has for the nation Ghana. The reason is that we are all aware of the 600 million that government has put in place. But we have come to realize that the religious bodies, the developmental NGOs have been left out. Maybe it's not deliberate, but we are appealing that a window be created so that since they are not profit-oriented and they are social inclined, we are of the view that they can actually help government to achieve the objectives of the stimulus package.
So religious bodies, you think that religious bodies and others should be added. Have you reached out as an organization? Have you reached out to the fund managers? And you're referring specifically to, because there's the fund managers, those who are receiving the donation, and then there is the National Board for Small Scale Industry, the NBSSI. You are referring to the NBSSI?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you reached out to the NBSSI with these proposals that you have?
Yes and no. Yes.
How is that? Yes and no.
Yes, you know, there's a need that you need to apply through the internet. But it has not been easy for people to access. Okay,
when you say people to access, you mean your people? No, people who are part of your association?
Yes, because we are on the ground and we hear that people are struggling to even get the information that they need when they go to the internet.
What's the real problem they have?
I think it's the PIN and even ask you how to go about going through the process. Also, it's a problem to some people. But we are of the view that in order to avoid that, why can't a window be created that development NGOs, religious bodies who can create jobs, pay the loan and then do social services in addition. This is what we have for you.
But this is a stimulus package that's supposed to support every organization, every business. Yeah. Why do you want government to just focus only or more on NGOs?
I'm not saying that government should focus on only religious bodies and NGOs, but rather create a window. There's a first window for the business community, those who are profit-oriented. And those who are not profit-oriented, a window be created because government has an objective. The objective is that this lockdown has actually exposed our weaknesses as a nation. See how people struggle for food items. We all saw it all over the world. But here is the situation. We are of the view that because we work with religious bodies, we believe that if a window is created and then they ask them to submit a proposal, and these are the objectives of government, we want you to create jobs, you have to be able to pay back and then do social services in addition. When that one is done, I'm sure it will meet the requirement that government want to put in place.
You said that I want to ask you the question about whether or not you've engaged them. Because more often than not, people get into the media and they talk about their problems, but it becomes sometimes a bit more effective when you engage directly. And if you don't get the results, then perhaps we can put it out in the media. As you said, yes and no. Why is the yes and why is the no once again?
The no is that attempts have been made to meet the NBSSI executive director, but it has not been easy.
Why?
I agree. Because, I sympathize with her. Everybody would like to see her. In that case, she will find it very difficult to do her work. So, in order to avoid everybody, you can't even see her. She may move her off. She may have a next office somewhere, which some of us may not have.
So your point is that you've been making attempts to meet with the NBSSI executive, but you have not been successful. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap up with, you have a list here in your statement. Yeah. On this list, you talk about amounts required and number of jobs to be created. There is 5, so you say 100,000, those who receive, for development NGOs who receive 10,000 should be able to create 5 jobs.
At least.
At least 5 jobs. Yeah. Those who, take us through the list once again.
Yeah,
so
what we are saying is that
saying for you.
We are proposing that 10,000 be made available for development NGOs and religious bodies who can create at least 5 jobs. Then we come to 20,000 who can create at least 10 jobs. Then we come to 30,000 Ghana cedis, those that can create at least 15,000 jobs. And then we have 40,000 that can create 20 jobs. And then we have 50,000 Ghana cedis that can create at least 25 jobs for the youth, for the jobless youth up to that level. So we are looking at between 10,000 and 50,000. But as of now, according to what is in the public domain, we don't know how much each can apply.
Okay.
How you get me?
Yeah.
When you go through the media, you don't know how much each can apply.
I think they have categories, and they've indicated the number of people you employ, and the idea, the sort of idea you have will influence all of that. But I get you. You have these proposals, and I want you to make a, like, if you, assuming you have the meeting right now with a boss of the NBSSI, and they tell you that you have just about 30 seconds or 1 minute to make your points to her, give her a reason why she should listen to you, what would you say?
I'll say that she should first and foremost call for project proposals that can create jobs, pay for the loan, and then do social services to the poor and the needy in society.
Okay. And the category, there was a category for this setup of this fund. Government had an idea in mind what they wanted to do. And part of it is to support businesses that are already existing. Yeah. Isn't that enough?
It's not enough. That's why I'm saying that. We are not saying that they should close those ones. Create another window.
I see.
Create another window.
Okay.
Which they have not done.
All right.
We laud them for doing that, but they should create another window for religious bodies and development NGOs who can. If you cannot, you bring a proposal, and the proposal would show that you will be able to do A, B, C, D.
Mr. Lucas, thank you very much for coming, and I hope that the NBSSI, someone there is watching, or the boss herself hopefully is watching, or someone will watch and tell them, and they will reach out to you. Network of Associations of Registered NGOs in Ghana. They're calling for a window in the NBSSI program that gives people who can, or organizations who can create jobs, an opportunity as part of this disbursement. Kofi Lucas is the president of the organization. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. God bless you.